Hey guys, I'm here to talk about the automatic top off system from JBJ. I have a 28-gallon Nano cube, and I just wanted to, I have been looking online, haven't found anything about automatic top offs on Nano tanks. So I know a lot of people out there just rather say, hey, I just go ahead and put some water in the aquarium here and there, but you know what, sometimes people are too busy and this works out good. I got it for me and it works out great. So I thought I'd go ahead and share it because, you know, again, I see it on a lot of big tanks and sump systems and this and that, so I'm just going to go ahead and show it what would be on, you know, you can put it on a BioCube or Nano cube, so forth, and this and that. So I want to see, you know, everybody to find out, you know, how I'm doing it. So if it works out for you, I hope it will, you know, some good information. So what I got is under the aquarium. This is what comes with the unit. Okay, I got it down here right now under the aquarium because right now I'm getting all this situated back here, so I just want to go ahead and set it down here for now, just so you guys can see it. But what it comes with the power, the sensor 1 light, sensor 2, and then the pump. The sensor lights are red, and then you have the pump light, which is a yellow-orange color, and for this video we'll just call it yellow. Okay, so what happens is when the automatic top off goes on, you'll get a red light and then you'll get a yellow light together along with the green light, which is the power. That always stays on. Okay, so that's going to go on when the unit is in need of water, and that's how it works. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you the back of the aquarium, and I'll show you the float switch so you can go ahead and see how that's going to go ahead and work and how I have it assembled on the back. First, I want to go ahead and show you for this right here. To pump my water into the aquarium, I have the aqua lifter. This right here, very, very nice unit. I started with a power head, didn't like it. You actually have to go ahead and get a larger power head to pump water all the way up from the ground up all the way into the aquarium, and I found out there was just too many bubbles because obviously the taller you go, the bigger the power head and hose you need to go ahead and pump water into the aquarium. So I kind of left it at this, and this one works really good. It trickles water into the aquarium, and it works great for me. So I like this, I recommend it, and it works really good with automatic top off. Now here's the unit right here. Okay, this is the aqua lifter. Now this one right here, okay, it's going to go ahead and have an in and an out. This is kind of different type of airline hosing. This is the type of hose that you use for an air stone and so forth. It's usually pretty I would say non-flexible. Okay, this is the different kind. This is a very, very flexible tubing right here. This is what I use. So I mean, if you can see it, it's flimsy. It's almost kind of like a piece of string. I mean, it's not going to go ahead and kink up. Okay, and that's pretty important when you do something like this. Okay, because what you want is that flexibility, and I'll show you why when I go to the back of the tank and I show you. But the way I have it into the aquarium, if you can see down on the bottom, I have 3 pieces of, I would say about 6 inches, right about there, pieces of larger hosing, okay? And the hose right there that I have, you know, obviously it's aquarium safe and so forth. And what I do is I have that in there, and I basically cut about 3 of them together so they're like this, okay? And then I zip tied them together along with the tube, so it'll stay all the way down in the bottom of the tank. Because what happens if you don't do that, you put the hosing inside there, you'll get it, and the hose will go back up, it'll hook back up, and then the hose is all the way down in the water, but the tip of the water will suck air, and you don't want that obviously when you're pumping water, okay? Because you want that prime at all times. So that's the way I did it. If you want to go ahead and do it some other way, you can do it, as long as you know it's aquarium safe. Inside here I do have RO water in a 5-gallon container, and so far I've had this and it's kept my salinity perfect. Okay, and that's what you want in a reef tank, guys, and especially for a nano tank, there is, you know, as they say, there is no room for error, and you want to make sure that happens, especially in a nano. Okay, so one day, guys, can go ahead and just make a total difference. Okay, so it's again, this has worked for me. If it may be overkill for some people, but it's worked for me because it does. So what this does is this is going to go ahead and run all the way to the side, and again I'm going to go ahead and tuck these wires in and this and that, but they go all the way to the back of the aquarium. Okay, so let me go ahead and go to the back aquarium. Here is the float switch. Okay, the float switch I have into chamber 2. Okay, you can kind of put it in different places, okay, wherever it's going to fit. Okay, but I have mine in chamber 2. Like if you have a protein skimmer here, if you want to put it up on the side right over here, I mean you can. I mean, as long as whatever you kind of want to do. Mine, I don't have a protein skimmer on here yet, and I'll probably end up putting this off to the side over here. But this one right here, I have in chamber 2. This is the flow switch that goes into sensor 1. Okay, so what I did is it comes with one of the little brackets with the automatic top off float switch. There's several brackets on there for height. It goes up or down, and what I have is I have it on the top notch. Okay, and this is the longer one I'm using. Okay, there's a longer ones and there's shorter ones, and I'll show you the long and short ones right now. But this is the long ones right here that has several notches. Under here, I have some airline tubing that I cut for height. I don't want it to go all the way down to the bottom, guys. Okay, that's very important. Okay, you don't want it to go down to the bottom. You want to keep your water level high in the back. Okay. Now I'm going to show you why I have it that way. Okay. Now, putting this up right here makes a perfect height, and you can use anything you want as long as the height is correct. But what you're going to do is you're not going to plug in your auto lifter or the aqua lifter yet. What you're going to do first and foremost, you're going to go ahead and you're going to set the float switch. So go ahead and plug in the float switch into sensor 1, plug the unit into power, and you're going to go ahead and set this. Once your water's set and you see that the red and yellow lights turn off and on when you put this up or down, you want to get the desired level of your water first. Okay, however you're going to do your water, that's how you're going to go ahead and have determine where your float switch is going to be. Okay, so when if you see mine, my water goes to where right over the chambers. Okay, chamber walls, they don't go over. Okay, I have them down on top of there to where my water's filled all the way. And just so you guys know, I don't use the wave controller, wave maker, excuse me, that comes with the unit. I actually took that off, and I'm running both pumps full speed. Okay, so what that does is when you do that, guys, and if any of you've done it, it drains the back of the sump. So what you want to do to go ahead and make sure that doesn't happen is just keep putting salt water inside there. Okay, keep adding salt water till the whole back is filled up. Then you'll see it. You'll see the whole back will be filled up, in the tanks. Inside the tank, it's going to be high inside the tank, but that's fine. Okay, the sump isn't going to go ahead and drain itself because it just can't no more, because it's just at a level height. So that's what you want to do, is just keep adding water in the aquarium till it doesn't drain anymore. Okay, so that's pretty important if you're going to not use that wave maker. Okay, so what I do is I have it to where I don't fill it too much, to where this right here, water does not go over these little sides right here, so it gets full filtration. So if you see all the water going, it's going straight into the back. Okay, in which some videos in the future soon, I'm going to be getting one of the media baskets in the back to where it's going to fill up the whole thing, which is going to be pretty nice. But anyways, getting back to this right here, if you set this high or low. You can push down on it, you can pick it up a little bit, however you want, because these little brackets are pretty strong. So you can go ahead and put them up or down to where they're going to move or not. But right when you put them up just the tiniest bit, and you're watching the lights, or have someone watch and say, okay, the lights are on, the lights are off. You push it up or down. Right when you barely touch the lights, or excuse me, the float valve, and the lights are off, that's where you know your water level is going to be, and you're set. So if you get evaporation in the back, it's going to go ahead and the lights are going to go on. They're going to go on right when the water evaporates. Okay, so you'll have to mess with it a little bit, kind of check it out. I got a cup, I put it in the aquarium, and I took a little bit of water out, so I see the tiniest bit of water comes out, then the lights come off or on. Then I know it's set perfect. If you're taking a whole cup of water and no lights come off, then you got to adjust it. But the best way to do it is, is like I have right here, up or down. Just put something inside there. Again, I put a piece of tubing inside there, and that worked. It worked perfect for me. So getting to how I'm putting the water into the aquarium. If you see right over here in the back, here's the tubing that I have from the aqua lifter going into the aquarium. Okay, I used a piece of larger tubing with the other tubing from the aqua lifter. I just have it taped inside here, okay? I have the small tubing into the larger tubing, because the only reason I did something like this is I didn't want it to kink right here. Okay, I want it to be hard. I didn't want it to kink. Okay, so when it goes in, it's going to have some bite to it when I actually use the other clamp that comes with it. Okay, this is the small clamp. And this small clamp, I just put it up a little bit and put the tubing inside of it, and I press this down right here. I press it down as far as it can go. The tubing, this is not going anywhere, guys. Okay, that's not going anywhere. It's not kinking anything. It's perfect. So here's where I go into what I said earlier. I said that you don't want to go ahead and get any kind of tubing that's too rigid, too hard. Okay, not enough flexible. Okay, I used an old part from one of my power heads, and it's a 90. And what I did is I ran that tube through the 90, and if you can see at the very bottom, let me see if I can get around here. At the very bottom, you see a little tiny piece of tubing coming out of there, out of the 90. What I did is I ran it through here, and I automatic 90, and I cut it to where it's about an inch, I say about 1.5 inches off the water. Very important. You don't want this going inside of the water. Okay? If you do, and when your pump shuts off, you're going to get a back siphon where it's going to siphon salt water back into your fresh water. You don't want to do that, guys, okay? So however you want to put this to the back of the tank is kind of up to you. This is really kind of non-important. The only thing that's important about it is it doesn't kink the line, okay, to where it stops it, and you don't have your tube inside the water. This one's pretty easy. This one's self-explanatory. This is the way I did it. Like I said, I just used parts that I had and was able to use, and it worked perfect. Okay, so if this works for you, great. The most important part right now is the float switch. That part right there is pretty simple. If you look at that, of how I have it right there on the first notch with some tubing inside of it, you should be able to move it. I mean, you see it's a little bit squeezed. It's a little bit squeezed, but I can squeeze it either up, or I'm talking the clamp. I can either pull the clamp up or down with still some pressure from that air tubing. So it's not going to go up and down just if I hit it or something. It's going to stay that way. Okay, that's the way you want to do it. So that's very important, guys. So that's the way I did my automatic top off. Okay, so if you have any questions, anything like that, you can go ahead and contact me. Let me know what you think. If there's something you think that I can do better, then, you know, hey, that'd be great. So here it is, guys. This is my aquarium, and I hope you like it. So thanks a lot.